Check, 1, 2. It's Friday night, September 29th. We have the week recap and next week's prep. Special edition though. Today marks the end of quarter 3, 2023 already. And next week will mark the beginning of quarter 4. So I hope everyone had a great quarter 3. I hope you're really hitting the notes and the footage and studying, evaluating everything, your long terms, how you traded in your day trading, so we can crush quarter 4. And to get into it, to start, we have monthly profiles right here. So if you just look how we did last month, it was mostly a downtrend. This blue dot marks Sunday night, where we begin next week. And as you can see, we popped up a little bit. Any pop just got sold. And this is Friday RTH, and once again hit that area where sellers were last time and just keep putting in lower highs. So I mentioned last week that the main thing I wanted us to hold or to see was us to hold this flip zone, previous resistance turning into support. So buyers are holding it. Maybe this was a liquidity grab right here for them to bring it higher, but with how heavy it's been, who knows? So still stands. I would like to see this to hold, and on this chart I'm just going to use pivots to keep my bias until then, which is lower highs and higher lows. So we're putting in higher lows and we're putting in lower highs, so we're compressing. And so just kind of have to wait, really, and don't want to trade that, but this is such a high time frame chart. So these are the weekly profiles. Each of these are a week. We're getting back to the mid-May prices. So on the daily chart, so last Thursday we spent this long in balance, broke it to the downside, and then spent this much time in balance of this week. We broke out of it and we mid-rolled the previous range we were in. This is the previous range we were in, and not to the tick, but we mid-rolled it essentially, loosely, areas, not lines. So now we're coming back into this zone, and let's see if we can traverse back through it. For the daily candles, this is where Sunday night glowbacks of last week started, with Monday being here. Sorry, Monday being here. I'm sorry. And as you can see, we opened and just dumped. And then with the 200 MA, I mentioned this in my last video, that I was specifically watching that level. Why? For many reasons. One, just the 200 MA. That's what long-term investors look at for a line in the sand for bullish or bearish. Pardon me. I was also looking at it because it's a psych price. 300, any 100 interval is good resistance or support. So we had a 300 psych price, 200 MA confluence. It was in a pivot zone, which is from all of this. So I'm looking for buyers, that same flip thesis. And so there's a lot of confluence with that. So I did say that there'd be a scenario where I thought I could see it reclaiming this trend line of the wedge we broke. And that's why I haven't deleted it yet, because I would like to see a retest of it. But the selling's just so relentless, we can't even pass this zone that turned into a flip zone, was demand, and is now supply. And this is the 9 MA. If we can get to the 20 MA, that would be nice. You know, I'd like to see a healthy lower high before continuing lower, if we were to continue lower. But on the downside, so I would either see us chopping around here, would not be surprised, and then either going up to reclaim near the 20 MA in 400s, or going lower. But I'm really neutral to bullish right now, just because of how much support we have being above this. But the lower we go, the less bullish I am, and the more concerned I would be for the bulls. Disclaimer, I don't use I do not let this high time frame weight or high time frame analysis hold much weight in my day trader scalps. I use levels like this, just key levels of daily charts, and then I keep a 4 hour to 3 hour chart. 4 hour to 2 hour or 30-minute chart. I switch it. So I'll have this up on the side monitor, which I rotate between time frames, and I'll keep a daily chart up. Sometimes I'll port over my daily levels to my small execution chart, but I don't go into the day knowing, oh, we're going to reclaim back to here. You know, I don't set high expectations. I take one day at a time. But on the weekly chart, so this is last week's candle, opened, popped up a little, dumped, the dip was bought in this pivot, which is here. So I love to see that for bull case. I mentioned how, let me get this for you guys. I mentioned how we have a curve. This is 4 years worth of volume. We have a curve, we have a curve, and we have a curve. Since this is this week, the week before, we spent what, a good month? Let me change colors. A good month trading in this curve. Lost it. And then this week, we tested it. It flipped in a resistance, and we failed. And then we continued more, and we bounced off the mid pretty much, or this little high node. And this is where we are now in this curve. In this curve. So I would expect us to travel around this curve as a range from the 160 to 400. So it's quite the point range on there. So there's that. Let's see what else we have here. On the 4 hour chart, once again, I'm still keeping these channels and trend lines we broke because I would like to see a retest on any of them, but you can see just how heavy the selling is, and you will even more as I downgrade these time frames. But each volume profile is a week, so you can see this week. This is Sunday Globex start, and popped up a little bit. RTH put in a high, and that was the high of the week. And then Wednesday was when the dip got bought, high or low. That would have been the time to long. Would have been a nice swing as well. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? And I still haven't updated my zones. So they top ticked the zone a little bit and then pulled it lower. If you zoom into that, so that was the 4 hour. This is the 2 hour. There's that top tick tweezer. Nice price action though. And then this is a better look at those balance zones I was talking about. So this is where we were balanced initially. We lost it, created a new balance zone, and then we lost it. They did a liquidity grab and brought it back to it, and we ranged in it, and they blew us out of it, and then we held it as support. And then what we do, this is where the mid-roll, or look at POC, point of control, where the most volume happened in this price range. And we rolled that, and now we're back in here. So on this time frame, I would like to see us trade this range. I would expect us to trade this range until we break out of it. And this really, I'm just messing around with market profile for fun. At the end of August, this is 4 days worth of balance, just ranging, gap down on the 20th, and then this is that balance zone I was talking about right here from the 21st. And this is Friday, and this is pretty much just a 30-minute candle chart if you're not familiar with market profile. But I think there was one more thing I wanted to show you. Really, just for next week, I want to watch this flip zone hold, so I really would like to see 300 hold and I don't count this as failing because it wasn't price was not accepted below, so it held. It's just unfortunately a fake out liquidity grab, whatever you want to call it. So I'd like to see low 300s hold. Looking at this volume chart, low 400s wouldn't be a bad spot for resistance for sellers to come in. Off the daily chart, I'd like to see us bull case. I'd like to see the 9MA at 370 and then the 20 at 425. Once again, that low 400s coming up is selling territory. Bull case, we must hold the 200 MA in this flip zone. If we break below it, I honestly am stumped because there's so much below it in support. I'm not sure if it will take a long time to get through here or if it will just tumble through here. But with all of this trading we did, I think it's going to take a boatload of selling and no buyers to get through here. And we're holding this 50 weekly MA nicely, so there's that. And really quick, let me just pull up for next week the data we have to expect. So anything with yellow is just high impact, 3 stars, and then I dotted each day, so every day has high impact except Monday. Oh, pardon me. I have the wrong one. So, okay. This is next week's data. We have ISM manufacturing at 10, high impact, as well as Powell speaking at 11, so Monday's going to be hectic. Tuesday we have Jolts at 10, another high impact day. Non-farm on Wednesday. S&P PMI on Wednesday. Yeah, non-manufacturing on Wednesday. We're loaded next week. Initial jobless claims on Thursday. Average hourly wages, unemployment rate. You can read the rest of these if you'd like. Crude oil inventories. Every single day we have a high impact event, so get ready for that, everybody. But hope everyone has a good weekend. Like I said, it's the end of a quarter, so study up, get ready for the next one, and we're gonna crush it to the rest of this year. Till next time, thank you.